be too hot.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order, and we have the pledge, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have the roll call, please?
Ms. Noah.
Here.
Mr. Seward. Here. Mr. Sowers.
Here.
Mr. Good.
Here.
Ms. Dixon. Mr. Schaefer.
Here.
And Mr. Huffman.
Here.
And we understand that Tracy will be here. She's running a few minutes late, but she should be on her way. Okay, do we have anything to add or take away from the agenda? Follow the agenda that has been sent out to us. Okay, we have the minutes from July the 14th. Any additions, questions, or corrections? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Don't see anyone here from the public, so don't have any comments. We also don't have any public hearings scheduled for this month. I know we'll have some in September, but not at this time. Okay, we do have some things that we need to discuss. First being an application for a special use permit from the Shenandoah Valley Electric Commission to construct a 45 by 75 foot metal building for storage and repairs. This is at their location here off of Mechanic Street or along Mechanic Street. We have a lot of information that they have presented to us. A lot of information from their construction company, Harmon Construction. Hey.
Here she is.
Okay. Oh, no problem.
We were expecting
Just getting started on the Electric Commission. Electric Cooperative. SVEC, maybe I should say that. Is there additional information before we get into a discussion?
No, sir. Basically, due to the fact that it is located in the light industrial zoning district, any new construction requires a special use permit, and so that's why they have submitted the request. The site is further complicated due to the fact that it is within the established floodplain. They are making accommodations within the building design to make sure that it is flood-proof per town code.
I read that about the floodplain, but I didn't understand how it's supposed to work.
Well, basically, because this is in the floodplain, not the floodway, the building has to be designed either to completely exclude floodwaters or in the for a storage building such as this to accommodate the floodwaters. So basically, they're elevating all of the mechanical, electrical, and other equipment above the flood elevation so that if it is flooded during the 100-year flood, it would not create a fire hazard. They're also putting in effectively doggy doors,
Mhm.
so that water can come in and then recede as the.
Okay. That's what I thought, but,
Do we have something that shows the height of the building? I'm sure we do.
Yes, sir. See if I can track it down. It is, I just can't get back to that. No, we'll do this the old-fashioned way.
Is this replacing a structure that's there, or is it totally?
There's a little concrete.
Yes, it's going away.
Okay.
Where that little tan concrete, like elevated building is, it's really small.
Okay.
They're gonna take that out and put this in that.
That is the elevation of the building. Sheet A301 of the Harmon Construction provides a cross-section or elevation of the proposed building.
And you did say it's in the floodplain, not the floodway.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was something that I was wondering about, because given where it's located, I would have just thought that it was in the floodway, because it's pretty close to the creek. And if so, I know there would be a lot of questions about putting a building of this size in the floodway.
Yes, sir.
okay.
And that was, they've already had Racy Engineering go through and confirm that it is located outside of the floodway.
Even with the measures that they take to provide this building where it's being located, I'm just thinking back to 1996, when the water came over the bridge on Main Street. And, you know, it just seems like it's a risk to put any building in that location. That's just me, but like I say, I'm thinking back to 1996. Maybe that was a 500-year flood, but we know that 500-year flood could happen tomorrow or next month or anytime. Just such devastation through town, taking out buildings and water lines and sewer lines and roadways, and it just seems like well, scary if I was putting a building in such a location.
It seems like a massive thing too. I mean,
Yes,
it seems huge for. Is the facing going to be towards the greenway? I mean, are we going to look at that when we walk down the greenway?
I think the doors, garage doors are gonna be facing towards the creek.
Yes.
And in the rear of the building, which by the way is 18 feet, a little under 18 feet in the front and about 16 feet in the rear. So well within the height restriction for him.
But a big dam,
Oh, yeah.
with the flood water.
Yeah, I encourage them to make sure they have the louvers facing the right direction. Because I've seen that where they put them in backwards.
Oh.
Doesn't work real well.
Put a big enough sump pump in there to pump it out fast.
Is it a metal building or a brick building?
Yes, no.
Yeah, no. They did this once before, I'm not sure anybody was on, maybe Ronnie was.
I've remembered something about that,
Remember
yes.
when they added that building right behind the main structure there, they came back, and did the same process then. But it was a metal structure too, because they don't wanna put a whole lot of money into it in case flood does take it out. Fairly expensive to put it back.
I thought we'd had a discussion on this sometime before.
I think it was, I'd have to go back and look at it running, but I think it's 2008, maybe 2009. It's been a while since they did the building that they currently use for storage. But, they need another one.
Any other questions or discussion at this time?
I mean, it sure would be nice if it, had a facade on it that kind of blended in with the building that's there, but I guess that's a big cost.
What I was told from Harmon is that the building that is to the north of the main structure that was there originally when SBC was when we got it that time, it's gonna look very similar to that. It'll have the white, doors. I think it's gonna have like the neutral tan metal siding and then the white. Garage doors, very similar to what that building was done in 2009. So we're gonna try to tie it in with what's there. But you're right, it is there's no way to hide something that big. I mean,
It's big.
even if we camouflage it, you still see it. It's a big
And I guess we just have to remember that it is zoned industrial.
Correct. And this is the place that, for electric companies to be and to put their storage and their operating equipment.
Other questions or discussion at this time? Okay. Take this up again in September. Okay, and then we have a new, well, I guess this one was new too. We have another new application for rezoning at Luray Landing. They're asking to rezone a number of parcels from Business B1 to the Planned Neighborhood Development District and reincorporating those lots into the Luray Landing P&D. It says that these parcels were originally in that development, but were taken out for commercial development. So now they want to put them back in, if I'm understanding this correctly.
That is correct.
Just off the top of my head, it seems like if that's what they were a part of to start with, then it seemed like we'd have any problem putting them back to
Seems like
where,
it was a
back to where they were.
Most of you were here, I think. I know several of you were here. Tracy was here, I think Brian was here. I think.
I was sitting here thinking, I think we just did this.
They were duplex lots, they were additional size for duplex lots, and they want to pull those out and put them into B1, which was the underlying, the previous zoning designation for the entire parcel, and, because they said they thought they could sell those in a business configuration, and so they were set up initially for duplexes. Now they'd like to pull them back into the P&D, aggregate. And of course, they'll have to repile.
It looks like there are different applications for the different lots.
Well, they submitted individual applications, but we will consider them as a group.
Any other information that we need on this at this time?
Again, no, sir, it's simply trying to put back what they had originally rezoned.
I thought when we did it, I thought there were already potential businesses looking at it, and I thought
There
that
were,
was,
then we had a little bit of slowdown, and I think that, they didn't, the one convenience store did not like the fast food place that was potentially looking at a lot, they did not pursue, and then they just kind of sat there, ever since, so. But you're right, there were some people working with those,
Do you know what they would plan to use them for now if they put them back in the
Residential.
just residential lots? Okay. Okay.
You also remember there were 2 lots down below Dr. Ruffins that they pulled out at the same time on General Drive. The map shows them there. They're down below. He's, right there on the corner of Allison and General, the first blue lot on the left of General Drive and Allison. The next 2 blue lots, they are still in the P&D, but they were allowed to be, they originally platted as townhouse lots, and they were, basically consolidated in one parcel. They took out the townhome, subdivision lines that were platted originally, and then kept them in the P&D, but, had them for, potential commercial use, as part of the 10% that's allowed in the P&D. And that was all done at one time, back whenever,
Okay, other questions or discussion at this time? I believe this will also be advertised for September.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the last one under this section is the town park lots that is proposed to rezone all of these into the new open space park zoning district. There's on our very back sheet, there's a number of these parcels, and they're zoned everything from R3 to B1, R2, M1, a lot of different zoning districts. And as proposed here, they would all be rezoned into the new open space park zoning district.
Steve, the 2 there that said Bulldog, is that across from Bulldog?
Yes, sir.
That's the Greenway Loop, right?
Yeah, that's the loop, yeah.
Because Bulldog Field is actually,
Yeah.
big skin school, but the loop, the big 2 big parcels across from Bulldog Field, are the green part of the Greenway Loop, the green section, and that's town parcel.
Okay. And probably a takeaway from this is that there's a lot of parkland.
It was a worthy effort for the planning commission to develop the open space designation for the town. It did. All total, we probably will have nearly 90 acres when it's all said and done. We may not put this on September. There's a couple other parcels that we're trying to figure out whether they should or shouldn't be. Once we go into the OSP designation, it limits any other use in the future, so we're trying to make sure that what we present to y'all to be brought into OSP makes sense for the town long-term. Now, just off in the parking ride, the parcel specifically for the parking lot is not included in what we're presenting to y'all. The parcels are all of the parcels that surround it that we use as park areas, but the parking lot, we will probably just maintain as, I believe it's either business or, no, it's M1. I think we'll leave that designation just so that it's not as limited if we ever need, or if VDOT needs to do anything with it.
And as I say, having a list like this just kind of reminds us that we do have a lot of park opportunities for us and our visitors, and it's good.
It'll be close to 400 acres, so we're at 300 that we have now, and we add this 100 in. The total is included in a lot of these, but they'll actually be designated in map park, so they'll be much more visible than being hidden in throughout the town. The park designation will stand out on the zoning map very clearly. So even though it'll be still the same, very close to the same total, it'll be much more identifiable. For example, Rubber
And this is something that needs to be advertised, but,
It would-
but maybe not for
yes.
September.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other discussion on this one? Okay. Are there things that we need to be brought up to date on?
Brian dropped off at your desk a major paving plan that VDOT is undertaking within the town limits. Brian's been working with VDOT and their contractor to come up with a reasonable plan. There's a lot of, a lot of the work is occurring on Main Street. It's also occurring on Broad Street, 340. So he's worked with them to come up with a combination of daytime and nighttime work to try and minimize the impact to our residents and businesses.
You said a pretty major milling and paving project.
Yes, sir. And it all begins tomorrow.
Yep, starts tomorrow on West Main Street. From North Hawksville Street out to Memorial Drive, and then from Memorial Drive all the way to the west side of Jordan.
Familiar place.
There's a major turn, and dump it all in somebody's front yard.
Amen. Okay, so let's use the bypass. Everybody, use the bypass as much as you can.
But the work on 340 will actually close the on-ramps and off-ramps from 211, so again.
So you're,
But that'll be done during the night.
That'll be
No,
during the
okay.
night, yes.
I
Dump all that
get
stuff
to
down,
work.
people don't feel like they usually do to make it better parking down there.
Actually, we're gonna get a little,
Recycle
the
it.
town's gonna get a little bit of this, I
Released
think.
the
I told them
problems,
to
I
take
think.
it. But taking asphalt, which is the VDOT contract, it is a VDOT contract, and so now that they have their own asphalt plant in Strasburg,
The recycling.
they get a recycling credit from the state, the more they take the millions back. So I think they're gonna stockpile a lot of them at the VDOT materials yard there off of 211, near Christmas Ferry Road, near the newly renamed bridge, and then, hauling those back up to Strasburg to get their credit, cause it's like 30%, like they do a certain amount over the year, the full year, it's like a 30% reduction if they can show that, and then they get significant. And they score points, like, so when they apply for VDOT jobs, then they're more eligible because they can show they have a strong recycling, effort.
I'm just trying to fix the swamp.
Yeah.
Fix the
That,
swamp.
that was our plan A, but I think it's gonna be plan B now, so we'll do the best we can.
If any of the equipment has the contractor's name on the side, I'm sure it'll offend some citizens, so
Yes.
be prepared.
they're the ones that did the other paving job.
Not on 211, that was Superior,
Well, up by the, hospital.
Memorial Drive, they did the intersection of Memorial Drive, so Kick and Asphalt did that particular job where they put in that pavement, put in the storm drainage, and then did they hired a subcontractor to the city. And they did some paving for us 2 years ago throughout town, patch paving and some long pole paving. And, they bring everybody but the kitchen sink, I think, but they do, they're very efficient, they have done a good job for us in the past, so I'm hoping they do a good job here.
Anything else we need to be brought up to date on?
The apartment project is continuing. They've got 3 pads down, I believe.
3,
Yeah.
yeah, they're working on 4.
Yeah, and they're continuing to. They should be going vertical, I guess, in the next.
Next 2 weeks, they're
Yeah.
gonna be starting up out of the ground, so you should see some 3-dimensional construction out there. for sure.
That's out in front of the airport, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be back there where the Lord Fairfax was at, but I wrote, I said, oh, it's gonna be right here. So what's the delay with the ABC?
We're not privy to that. I mean, they've come back recently and started.
I see they got the pad down
Yeah, they
and the
do.
plumbing in.
They come in, they work for a little bit, and then they're gone, then they come back a week later, and then they're gone, so. I don't know whether it's material shortage or staffing, we're having a lot of contractors that are having staffing problems right now, they cannot keep enough work crews moving to keep keep up with all their work, and so all of their projects suffered. But materials are a big thing. I mean, we're right now, the town of Luray we're looking at 6 to 8 weeks for pipe deliveries, just to get PVC piping. So, I mean, and this is from normally reliable suppliers, and they can't get it, so we can't.
We got, I think ours is like 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks.
Well, the sewer project down here with, behind your house. That's the reason why we haven't started on that one, is we're waiting on pipe and fittings, we just can't get material in. So as soon as we get it in, we'll come knock on the door.
Okay, anything else that we need to bring up or discuss? If not, our next meeting is September 15. September 15. If there isn't anything else, then we'll be adjourned.